Okay, welcome everyone to the MParks informational webinar about our new website and online community, Your Membership, or YM. We want to thank you for joining us today. We're excited to have you and to share some of the exciting updates that will be available to you as an active member of MParks. My name is Asia Jenks and I am the registrar here at MParks. I handle everything to do with membership as well as many other duties in the office.
My name is Tina Nowakowski, and I am the Communications and Marketing Manager at MParks. I do want to let you know before we get started on the webinar that we are recording this. You can hear us, but we cannot hear you. All attendees are in mute. But if you do have any questions, we encourage you to submit them via the chat box on the webinar panel. We'll try our best to answer them as we go. Otherwise, we will have some time at the end for question and answers. If you think of anything later, feel free to email us or give us a call. You'll see that our email addresses and phone numbers are right there on the PowerPoint slide. So with that, I'm going to give it back over to Asia to get started.
All right, thank you, Tina. So we're going to start by talking about, let's go to the PowerPoint here, why we switched over to YM and why we changed our entire system, our website, and database. We decided to switch because, frankly, we had outgrown the capabilities of our old database and really wanted to bring a higher level of service and benefits to our members. So YM will provide a much more interactive platform for you as a member to communicate and connect with each other as well as with the association. If any of you have explored the new system at all, you may have already seen it's very similar to popular social media platforms and should be fairly intuitive to use because of that, which is a great plus. We're hoping that this switch will help you get more out of your membership with MParks. There are a wide range of features that the association will be able to explore in order to offer more services and benefits to you in the future. I will also provide more ways for our board and leadership team to interact with the membership so they may guide the association's initiatives and goals to better serve you. I think as you interact with the new system, you'll find it's much easier to find the information you're looking for, and hopefully you'll get more out of your membership. With that, I'm now going to turn it over to Tina, who's going to show you around the new website.
Okay, I want to take you through the front end of the website. So it's still mparks.org, so it's still easy to find. We tried to keep the new site clean and user-friendly, but also similar to the site that you've all become accustomed to using. The first spot I want to show you is the Resource Center. The Resource Center is definitely the most used and visited part of the website, and we anticipate that it's still going to be that way. So the Resource Center, where you will find files and PDFs, is going to be similar to what you're already used to. You're going to have a list of different categories, and then within those categories you'll find a list of resources that fall in there. This is always growing and changing. I actually did a pretty big cleanup of previous resources to make sure that we were only keeping the most up-to-date information in there. So if anybody ever has any resources to send our way, please do. We love growing the center. Next in the Resources tab, you're going to find the Career Center. The Career Center is going to be much more efficient and user-friendly than it was in the past. Prices for Career Center postings have not changed. Basic agencies and Premier Agency members will still be paying $0, while other members pay $50 and non-members pay $100. So nothing there has changed. But the capability for posting is just much more efficient, where you can do this all on your own. You don't need to wait for us to post it for you. There are instructions on how to do that here on the Career Center page, but if you have any questions while you're working on that, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm not going to spend the time going through the steps of that right now because you all have places to be, but I will show you how to search in the Career Center. So once you're on the Career Center page, up here it says Search Openings. And it's really cool because you can filter your searches through all of these different categories. You can put in a city or location. Location is typically a city. I believe zip code will work there as well. And type of position, full-time, part-time, internship. But if you just want to see what's out there without any specifics, you can always just press search. and it'll populate the list of all the positions currently in the Career Center. Career Center postings last for 60 days unless otherwise noted in the expiration date, but it should be really easy to find jobs. It should be really easy to post your open positions, but again, reach out if you do have any questions with that. The next item under the Resource Center that I want to show is the Buyer's Guide. This should be familiar to those of you who used the Buyer's Guide on the previous website, but you click on a category, and then within that category, vendor members whose services fall under that category are listed there with a link to their website. So it's really easy to contact and find them. Keep in mind this is the public-facing Buyer's Guide. Within the database, when we log in later, we'll show you an even more efficient way to search for specific vendors. I won't spend too much time on the rest of the website as it should all feel pretty familiar to you. But I do want to point out that we combine the Programs and What's Happening tabs to a single Programs and Initiatives tab. And this is where you'll find the health and wellness resources that were previously their own green button over on the right-hand side of the website. And you'll also find awards, travel, like the Grand Experience and Jazzy Walk, all the discount ticket programs that we're involved in, My Big Green Gym. And then under the Education tab, you'll find the current offerings, and this is where you can find direct registration links to whatever might be happening at that time. Before we take you into the online community where you can sign in up here or on the right side, there's always going to be this blue box no matter what page you're on. I'm going to have Asia go over some changes in the membership profiles with you.
Okay, thank you, Tina. As Tina mentioned, I'm going to discuss some of the updates and changes within our membership profiles in the new online community. So one change that may be confusing, and I wanted to talk through with you today, is that the main account holders will now have two membership profiles that their name is associated with. This applies to the main account holders of Premier and Basic agencies, vendor members, and affiliate members. So all other member types will only have one membership profile attached to your name, so you don't have to worry about this part. But for Premier and Basic agencies, vendors, and affiliates, you want to pay attention to this part of the webinar. So for those of you who have two membership accounts, you'll have a master account or organization member profile and a sub-account or your individual member profile. As you can see in this example, Ron Davis is the main account holder for Oxford Township Parks and Recreation. Also, thank you to Ron for letting me use him as an example. He has two member accounts tied to his name, one for the organization he's affiliated with and one that acts as his personal membership account. If you are like Ron and have two accounts, you'll be able to see which account you're assigned into when you're logged into the member profiles. At the top, you'll see your organization name displayed if you are assigned in as the master account, and sub-accounts will be displayed with your first and your last name. Usernames can also provide a clue as to which membership profile you are assigned into. The usernames for master accounts are typically a shortened version of the organization's name, and the sub-account is a shortened version of your first and last name. These usernames can be adjusted, so these might not be exactly the same for you, but we did create the master accounts usernames, so right now they should all be a shortened version of your organization name. We tried to transfer over some of the old usernames as well, so feel free, once you get into the membership profile, you can change this at any time if you'd like. I do want to note that the main account holder doesn't have to be the director or manager of the organization, but whoever you choose must be a paying member associated with your membership account. So if you'd like to make changes to your main account holder, feel free to contact the MPark staff and we can assist you with that if you have any questions. So here's an example of what a master account will look like in the online community. At the top, you'll see a drop-down menu. This is where you can find outstanding invoices. Master accounts will house the membership renewal invoice, which can be paid online. However, please make sure to check with us and complete your membership renewal documents before paying for your renewal invoice. This is because any changes to your account may incur additional fees, and we want to make sure your invoice reflects the correct amount for your membership dues. The contact information in this profile should be updated with the general contact information of the organization, with exception to the email address. The email address must be the same email for the main account holder. And this can get kind of confusing, so if you have any questions, we're here to help. You can call us at any time or email me, and I can definitely get back with you on that. All right, so for sub-accounts or the individual member profiles, this is an example of what an individual member profile will look like. This is mine. You can see that it's an individual account because my name is at the top. Here's where you'll update contact information that's more specific to the member, such as a personal headshot, job title, and specific demographic information. Much like a master account, you can also pay for invoices through the drop-down menus at the top. These invoices will be related to specific events or professional development opportunities that you signed up for, so they're more specific to you. The master account can also pay for these invoices through their account as well. So there's multiple ways to pay for your invoices online. It's just with the renewal invoice, I'd just like you to check with us to make sure that it's right before you pay for it. I do want to note that those who only have one account, so I didn't forget about you, these are the retired professional members, student members, associate members, and individual professional members. You will have full access to pay for your membership renewal invoices and other invoices online through your membership account. So because you only have one, it's all going to be there, so you don't have to worry about that. Also, I recommend for your contact information, you should probably update it with your personal contact information, much like an individual account. Okay, so I'm going to switch back over to the website and show you how to update your member profiles. Okay, so let's go back to the home page here. So in the introductory email that we sent to you on Monday, you should have received your specific username and temporary password. If you do not know your username or password, feel free to contact us. We can help you locate that. When you log in for the first time, we recommend that you change your password just to secure your account. So I'm going to log into my personal account. It's already on here since this is my computer, but let me just make sure my password's right. Okay, so I logged in. I'm going to click My Profile here. All right, and this is kind of what you saw earlier. This is my personal account. If you want to get back to the main MParks website, you can always click this box here, the little M on the top left. That will take you right back to the home page of the website. So to change your account information, what you're going to want to do is go up here and click the drop-down arrow and select Account and Settings. So this shows my information. This is where you can change your username. You can also change your password here. If you need to update your email address, you can change that right here. This section is put into 3 different parts. So there's personal information, there's professional information, and there's also additional information. So in your personal information, you can put your home address. This is your alternate mailing address. We typically use your professional address as our mailing address. So this is optional. You don't need to put this in here if you don't want to, but if you do, feel free. And down here, I want to point out, we do have some sections that actually don't show through your profile, and you can tell that by looking at the box on the side. It either has a lock like this or a little person. The lock shows that it's private and it's not visible in the profile. And these are set as private automatically. We want to let you know that this information is not shared with anyone outside of the association, and it's for our eyes only, just our way of collecting and storing data. So things like demographic information, anything that's really personal that we don't want everyone to see. But if there's something on here that you don't want everyone to see, you can also click this little icon on the side and select private or for viewable by members only. Okay, and down here is the professional information. So this is your organization where you work, your job title here. If you have any certifications, this is great for us to know. We don't have a great way of tracking this other than this little box here. If you click that, then we're able to include that on your name tag and make sure that's correct in our directory. Again, this is some more demographic information, more related to your organization, which is not visible to the front. And additional information is things that more associate with us. So any interest areas that you may be interested in, you can update that. It's a good way for us to know what you're looking to get more information on. So our committees can reach out to you, let you know different events that you can join. It's a great way for us to just know, direct some of our information to you. Okay. And so once you're done making changes here, make sure at the very bottom you click Save Changes, otherwise none of that will save, and it will bring you back to your profile. I want to show you how to change your headshot as well. As you can see right here is my headshot. It's typically a gray box, I think, with a cityscape. But you can hover over this and click this little edit button, and it will allow you to pull some images from your computer. The last thing I want to show you is how to access your invoices. To get the invoices, you'll click the drop-down arrow and select Invoices. This will bring you to the Payments and History section of your profile. You'll have access to pay for or view any invoices, see which events you're registered for under this event registrations, what current membership plan you are affiliated with, and any donations that you may have made to the MParks Foundation or to MParks in general. As I mentioned earlier, the only invoice we would like you to double check before paying online is the membership renewal invoice. Okay, I'm going to turn it back over to Tina.
Okay, now that the profile is all up to date, I'm going to show you some of the cool things you can do within the online community. So I'm going to click on my feed here to bring us to the main feed of the YM community. So here you'll see it really is like a social media platform. Members can post and you see all the people who have updated their headshots. So some of you might be on this call right now. And again, this is only visible to members of MParks because you need to be logged in to see any of this. So you can scroll through and see who's posted on here. This is a great way to post questions or get feedback from members. You can just type in a message right there and people can reply back to you. There is even a more detailed way to do this, and it's within the groups aspect. So I'm going to click on groups up here at the top menu bar. And here you can see all of the different groups that are being offered. These groups are based on MParks' focus areas and networks and committees. And so you are able to join any of these with the exception of the board of directors. That is only for the voting board of directors members, but you're not going to be able to join that one, so don't worry about joining it on accident. So you can join any of these groups, and I want to point out that with these groups, you don't have to be a regular member of this group. You don't have to attend all their meetings. This is just a way that you can stay connected to topics and regions that you're interested in. So I'm going to actually scroll down and find the student focus area because I know that they have already done some posting within, and I want to show you some of that. So let me see if I can pull them up. Here it is. So you'll see that each group page has its own feed, so you can ask student focus area related questions here. But they've also added a meeting. So I can click on the details for that meeting, and I can even RSVP for that event. So then the contact and the chairperson for that group is able to get a head count for that meeting. And it's just a great way to always be able to keep track of what is happening for the committees that you're interested in. This is going to make it so that committee chairs can more efficiently email those interested without being blocked by spam filters, which I know happens a lot with government email addresses. So this should help avoid that because all the communications can be directly in YM. Next, I'm going to show you how to search in the directory. So I'm going to go back and click on directory. So the basic search, you can really just search any term you would like. You can search the name of a city if you're trying to find a contact for a specific Parks and Recreation agency. You can search a person's last name. Really anything can go right there in search directory. What's really cool is the advanced search. I mentioned earlier that there was a more efficient way to search for vendors that you need for a specific thing. So I'm going to click on vendor member because I want to search all of the vendor members. And I can then find vendor members that fit any of these qualities. So maybe I want a vendor member that's in Lansing, or maybe I want a vendor member that focuses in a specific category. So for example, if I type in playground, I'll then receive all of the vendor members who have the word playground in their description. Now, if there are any vendor members on the phone right now, I'd like to remind you to go in and update your vendor description so that you are more searchable. Make sure all of your items and services that you offer are in that description so anybody can find you, and it's just another way to connect you to the membership. There really are a lot of cool things to show on this back end, and I don't want to spend too much time on it because I could really go on forever. But the next quick thing I want to point out is the messages feature. This is great if you want to reach out to somebody on a more personal level so that it's not public facing. You can compose a message and it'll go into their inbox. This is great if you don't want to send it to their email, but rather stay within your membership. That way you know that it's all MParks related. And again, these messages are private. Nobody else can see this one, so I can go in there and I'm going to search for myself since I'm on Asia's account. So I started typing in Tina, and then it will automatically send to me, and I fill in a message. And you would just send a message. You can even attach files. With that, I think I'm going to switch it back over to Asia to field some questions if we have received any. Let me pull that up.
Okay, so does anyone have any questions or comments that they'd like to share? Feel free to type it in the chat box, which will be on the right, sort of at the bottom of your GoToMeeting. Well, Bill says, cool stuff, thank you. We're very excited about this, and you know, there's a lot of features that we still have yet to explore, and I hope that just as long, you know, the more we use this, the more we can bring to you guys and increase your benefits. Any other questions or comments? Yes, it's very much like Facebook and social media, which is kind of the cool thing nowadays. All right, any other questions? All right, well, if there are no other questions, we'll conclude this webinar. Once again, thank you for joining us. We hope you take a few minutes to explore the new system and make some updates to your membership profiles. If you have any questions once the webinar has ended, feel free to contact us. You can email the general info box at info@mparks.org or call the MParks office. All right, have a great day.